What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been 6 long weeks and I haven't filmed a single thing. I've had a much needed break, but now we're back. So in this video, I've got a surprise. I have rewarded myself for our 2-year YouTube Superbike building anniversary, which is this week. It's also my birthday, 45. Yes, I know I'm old. And that bike is gonna be arriving any minute on a really big truck. So we're gonna check that out. I'm also gonna run you through where we got here, how we got here, how the 2-year journey went with YouTube. Massive thanks to all you guys for watching, and make sure you tune in because next week we've got our first road build starting, which I am super pumped about. So yeah, here we go. Big truck about to arrive. Damn, that's a big truck. I actually didn't expect it to be quite that big. That is huge. Ken.
Mick.
Nice to meet you, Mick. How many bikes do you fit in there?
9.
9, jeez. That's not a bad payload. Okay, should give you a hint to caddy.
Yeah, that's...
We could just chuck it on the grass, that'd be sweet. There she is, look at that.
Kevlar wheels and that.
Yeah.
Kevlar here, but silver tank.
Carbon wheels, and then it's got a red, very interesting wrap on it. Red Bull wrap. We might just push it straight up on the driveway there and that'll be sweet. So there you go, V4 SP2 2023 model. And this bike has cost an arm and a leg. I actually put the total build cost of this bike somewhere around, well, let's work it out. Let's go, whoever bought this bike a year ago, 57,000 for the bike, let's say 13,000 for the full acro exhaust. Now it's a full system, it's not just a slip-on. So that takes us to 70,000. We've got a wrap's around about 2,000. We've got a bunch of extra carbon, so let's say another 2,000 for that. I think we're $75,000 to $80,000 build, and I've picked it up for an absolute steal. I did put a post in communities, just letting everyone know there was another bike coming, and this is really just a present to myself. So this is a well done for working my ass off to get 25,000 subscribers. I know it's not a huge amount. I know it's not massive, but it is for me. And that's awesome. This is an awesome bike. Let's do a bit of a walk around. Let's do a cold start as well. Massive thanks to Only Bikes Transport. They got this bike here in perfect condition. If you want your bike transported interstate, locally, if you want to go to a massive track day with a big event with your buddies, hit up Only Bikes. Really easy to deal with, really professional. Wow, let's check it out. Okay, so moving from front to back, it's got the standard carbon that all the SP2s have. So it's got the wings, it's got the front guard, and it's also got the, what's the other piece they have? It's got the heel protectors. It's obviously got the carbon wheels. Yes, they all have the carbon wheels. but it has a couple of extra pieces as well. It's got the hugger, and then it's got the full carbon wrap around the exhaust, and then the carbon down the bottom here on the acro system. It's got the replacement clear clutch, so it's got everything is Ducati performance as well, so it's not some average brand of carbon with an STM slipper clutch. I love the way that slipper clutch looks through that. That just looks absolutely sick. So the wrap, I was a bit hesitant on the wrap when I saw the photos, but I think that looks pretty sick. I might see if there's a way in which maybe we can take the wrap off this front part just to expose the Ducati stickers, which I really like, and then probably bring that bit of red back in there. You can see the lines where the wrap has gone over the decals, so it's just straight on top. So I might be able to take it off just to expose those parts, but leave that Red Bull logo on. But that's not my decision, that's your decision. Because I'm gonna put it to the vote. So I'm gonna put a post up when this video goes live on my community page on YouTube, and you guys can vote, not about the whole build of this bike just yet, we're gonna drip feed that in over a few episodes, but first up, you guys can vote as to whether or not I should keep this Red Bull wrap, or should I put it back to OEM? And the third option is, should I do a full custom wrap myself, or paint job, one or the other. I don't want to go, maybe I don't want to paint this bike because it is a numbered bike, even though it's not a limited numbered bike. Now I'm rambling because I'm so excited, but that's the other cool thing I wanted to show you. Okay, here's the number 1001. I just thought that was really cool. I looked at another couple of these and they were like weird numbers, number 750 and 850, but I just thought 1001 was a really rad number to have. Okay, a couple of other things this bike's got is it's got the Rizoma clear reservoirs, which I think are really, really cool. It's got the remote brake adjuster, which I think comes as standard on this onto the MTS lever. That feels like it's got pretty good brake in there. I'm used to like race setups on bikes, so I'm used to all the race switch gear and everything, but this does look pretty cool, I got to admit. I've just got stock mirrors on it for the moment because, to be honest, I'm 6'3" and stock mirrors actually work for a guy my size on this bike. It's got the rear sets, the Ducati Performance. I think they could be Rizoma rear sets. They look pretty funky, but I know what you're all waiting for. You want to see this bike start up. You want to hear the cold start with that exhaust, and so do I. So let's do it, baby. Let's crank it up. Okay, it comes with 2 keys. That's always good. Bike probably hasn't run in about a week, so I don't even know if it'll start. Oh, it's got a dash protector too. So the whole dash has a dash protector over the top of it. Oh, man, that sounds sick. That is cool. That is very cool. That is so loud. Unfortunately, I can't keep it playing. I can't keep it going too much because all my neighbors work from home and they are going to be sitting in corporate meetings at the moment. It's lunchtime. I don't want to piss them all off. But yeah, anyway, now we're going to get into why I started YouTube. I'm going to take this bike out for a spin. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the build plans for this bike. And yeah, you can tell I'm excited. You'd be too. I mean, everyone would be. I know it's only an SP2. It's not a V4R, and it's not, you know, a Bagnaia replica or something. But for me, this is pretty amazing, and this is a huge reward for doing so much work to get where I've got with YouTube. So, without further ado, let's gear up. Helmet on, microphone on. Let's hit the road. Okay. Good morning. It is a very, very early start to the day. I've just got to quickly get this ride in and try and get this video done. First road ride in about 2 years, so I'm a little bit nervous. And as you can tell, I don't take things easily. I fully suit up and boot up because Australia's a dangerous place. If it's not the natural wildlife that'll kill you, it's some moron in a stupid car. So, first impressions, this thing is so comfortable, so ergonomically comfortable. I've forgotten what a V4 was like. They're like a plush lounge chair that just wants to rip you out of the seat. They are just so fantastically ergonomic for me. I'm 6'3", obviously, so I'm not short, and they just work. Like, just everything. The only thing I'd say is the downside of these bikes for me is the mirrors, the OEM mirrors, and any mirror for that matter of fact on these V4s just doesn't work. So, you know, they're really just there for aesthetics. I've got to move my arm like that to see underneath it, like really move my arm up and out, and I still can't see anything out of these mirrors. Anyway, super excited. I'm just gonna go for a quick blast. Let's start her up. Oh, she purrs. She just purrs, this bike. It's not super loud, even though it's got a full acro system on it, which is good because I don't want to be obnoxious. It's nowhere near as loud as my Arrow exhaust on my old V4. It's not as loud as my mate's bike who's got the full underseat, what are they called, Termi? But let's do this. Let's just go for a quick blast. I hope you can hear me all right, because I'm not running my usual track setup, which is my inbuilt helmet cam. I'm running a GoPro, so a bit of short notice. Things weren't charged up properly, didn't want to half-ass it, so this is how I'm going to do it. Just going to go for a quick blast. Quick 2-minute review on this bike. Oh, I need to get used to that clutch. It's a longer clutch than I'm used to. Oh, listen to that sound. And those shifts, those gear shifts are just silky smooth. But yeah, I've got to take it pretty easy because, again, first time on the road in 2 years, and apparently YouTube has changed their policy. So if you look like you're doing something stupid, they just demonetize you straight away. I've heard of a bunch of guys in the States who do a lot of that sort of roll racing stuff and, you know, just the crazy top speed stuff, and they're getting demonetized left, right and center. So I'm not going to take it stupid. I'm just going to go for a quick cruise. But damn, this thing is plush. This thing is so comfortable. Looks like we're going to be stuck behind traffic anyway. After 2 years of just riding track bikes on the track, really learning how to ride a lot better, hopefully those skills should cross over to the road as well. I mean, it's not as if I'm going to be road riding every single day. I'd probably take it out maybe once every 3 weeks and just hit the mountains at sort of 6 AM, get up and back before everyone else wakes up and fills up the roads with their dirty ass four-wheelers. But wow, this thing just absolutely purrs. I will say one thing I've noticed about this bike, and maybe it's because it's an SP2, but the engine config on it feels like you have to be 1 gear lower for every single gear. So on my old V4, my 2018 V4, I could be in third right now, whereas now it's struggling in second and I'm back to first. So I have to go 1 gear lower on this, and the clutch, I'm going to burn this dry clutch out so quickly. I guarantee I'm going to need a new clutch in like 2,000 Ks, but that's relatively cheap and do that myself. That's easy. Oh, it is so nimble, just quick, a little push on the bars and it just moves. I wish I had the money to have one of these as my track bike. Like, can you imagine? I would got to be saying, my V2 Panigale, until I sold it last week, yes guys, it's sold, I'm sorry. That was my favorite track bike of all time. It was so nimble. I actually think this is way better. And I've only ridden it for a couple of kilometers so far, but it is so nimble. You actually feel like you got something to grab onto on the tank as well. Now, if you guys haven't seen my leathers, I'm going to put a picture up now. This is I've got my Angry Koala leathers on. This is like atypical Australia. And these are the koala trees. This is what they live in. So you got to be careful they don't cross the road. I'm not shitting you. If you're from another country and you think we're just full of shit in Australia about koalas, drop bears, whatever you want to call them, they are here, and they cross the road when you least expect it. So yeah, got to be careful. I don't want to hit those little fellas.
So this has got to be the all-time best birthday present to myself. I'm absolutely going to fall in love with it. I'm going to try and get you guys a heap of footage on this bike. We're just got to be careful what type of footage we get. Can't go too crazy. And we're going to start doing some mods to it as well. But the rest of the purpose of this video is I get so many people say in the comments, tell us how you got started on YouTube. Why do you do YouTube? You know, does it make you any money? Is it your full-time job? There's so many questions. I think there's a lot of people out there that go, maybe I could start a YouTube channel. And to be honest, there's a saying in the YouTube community which is just press record. Just press record, and it doesn't matter how shitty you think your content looks, just get it out there. Someone's going to watch it. I mean, crap, man, if I go right back to the start, when I first started my channel, my content was horrible, absolutely horrible. My microphone setup, my lighting, my editing skills were just next to nothing. They were absolute shit. I ended up scrapping my first 50 videos. Oh god, we're in traffic already. We're halfway up a mountain, we're in traffic. This is so bad. Anyway, you've just got to press record, and that's exactly what I did. And when I got started, it was just sort of towards the end of COVID, I think, and I had my V4 that I'd bought for my 40th birthday, and I'd had that for about a year and a bit, I think. And then my wife said to me, hey look, because I said I was buying this old Yamaha, this XV750, and I really wanted to build an exact replica of the Steel Moto XV750 that won like Cafe Racer of the Year. So I bought that for like $400 from about 2,000 k's away and had it shipped to my house. And then I contacted the guy from Steel Moto, which I think he's in Chicago, and I said, would you mind if I just completely copied your build just to see if I can actually do it? I just want to know if I can build a bike. And he was like, yeah, sure, man. And he even provided me with like some technical specs and help with engineering and fabrication. I'd never used a welder in my life, so I had to teach myself how to weld. Anyway, I built that bike in about 3 months with the help of a mate of mine, Warren, and that was sensational. It looked so good, and it got a lot of views, but it was totally impractical. Like, you couldn't ride the thing. It was an art piece that was, I would say, relatively poorly built. You know, spray cans for paint, some dodgy welding on my side, dodgy electrics on my side, even though I had some good electrical components. But it looks pretty cool from a distance. And yeah, there's my sweet hot ass wife standing next to it. So yeah, that was really cool. That was the first learning curve. And then from there, I thought, no, this really sucks, doing all this fabrication. Your house gets full of bloody aluminium dust and everything else, and it's just not me. So I love superbikes. Why don't I try and build superbikes? So I was just cruising through the classifieds online, and I found a V2 Panigale, a 2021, I think it was. V2 Panigale that had been crashed locally, then shipped 3,000 k's interstate by the person that bought it from an auction house, and then I bought it off them for I think $8,800, which was at the time I thought a pretty good deal, but you know, in today's prices probably not. And I set about building that. Again, absolutely no experience modifying bikes. So that bike was basically a bolt-on job. I contacted a bunch of suppliers and said, would you want to sponsor this build? And a couple of people got on board, and I ended up, actually, hold on, there was a bike before that. I bought a track bike. I bought a BMW S1000RR 2011 model, I think it was, and I didn't do anything to it. I just gave a really good clean up and then put a sticker kit on it, and that was pretty cool. That was my track bike. So that's probably my first one. And then after that, I bought the Ducati V2. So anyway, back to the V2. So I built that. A bunch of sponsors came on board. It cost an arm and a leg. I think total cost was like 23 grand. And then I put it up for sale, and you know, the paint job wasn't perfect, but it was my first ever effort spray painting. It looked the bee's knees. Like, it looked absolutely shit ass hot, this bike, from a distance. Had a really cool sticker kit, like a massive Ducati logo on it, and I sold that pretty much straight away to a lovely guy down in the next state, who still rides it to this day, and he races that bike and he loves it. And it's one of those things where I wish I'd kept, but that's all right. And that actually helped fund the next build. which, oh my god, move bike. This bike hates going slow. So the next build was actually, I was out on track and I just sold my BMW and I took my V4 Panny on track, which was stupid, very, very stupid of me. Oh my god. I'm just going to burn the shit out of this clutch. It does not want to move. Move, 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 move. I think there's a digger up here going 5 k's an hour and no one wants to go past it. Come on. I can actually smell my clutch. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to pull over or something, or go the other way maybe. Yeah, screw this. Okay, now we go. He's pulled off. Okay, so the next bike was actually, what was it? What was my next bike straight after that? I think it was a white Aprilia. So I bought a 2017 Aprilia RSV4RR, and I thought, oh, this YouTube thing's actually starting to go alright. It's starting to get some good traction. And I think I had around about 5,000 subs at the time. And again, I probably didn't really put enough attention into that build. I gave it a really good clean up. I put a bunch of go fast parts on it. I actually used it as my own track bike. I didn't want to go over the top with the build because I wanted something that if I crashed, it wouldn't matter so much. And I think the total build cost on that was around about 12 or 13,000, which yeah, it's still quite a lot of money for a lot of people. But that was a pretty awesome bike. But I didn't gel with it on track, and I don't know why it was. Maybe I was just being an idiot, to be honest. And I sold it, and then I actually thought, you know what, if I'm going to do track a fair bit, why don't I just use my V4 on track? I owned the bike, I didn't owe any money on finance or anything. I just thought, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to take track seriously, I'll just use my V4. So it was about, I think, my 3rd day out on track, and I was on this new layout of the track, and it was really not suited to leader bikes, it was suited to like little 600s. Oh, first gear, I really should get out of first. As soon as I get into second, it just wants to take off. Look at this. This is our riding. See all these mountains around here? I don't know if you can see them. See all that? That's where we ride, and it's only like 10 minutes from my house, so it's super, super easy to get to. It's a bit like Tail of the Dragon. No, not Tail of... Yeah, Tail of the Dragon in California. And I've got this at my fingertips. It's awesome. So anyway, I took my V4 on track. Third go out, some idiot T-bones me. And I crashed that bike, but not bad. It was just like a gentle layover. So then I thought, right, now that I've crashed that, there's my next build. Like, there's no point buying another wreck from the auctions. I've got this V4. Everyone wants to see high class, you know, Italian rebuilds, or so I thought. And so I rebuilt that, and I spent an arm and a leg on it. I think, like, all up, that bike, I must have put close to 20 grand worth of top race kit on it. There's a lot of stuff, like full YSS, top of the line SPK suspension package on it, you know, custom tune, Marcassini Comp 10 custom wheels that just had absolutely everything. So I really did not half-ass that build, and that was awesome. Again, just my absolutely most dream bike that I'd built. I was pretty proud of it. The paint job was probably one of my best paint jobs I'd done, and it really came up quite well. Everyone loved it. I got a lot of comments about it, and the YouTube absolutely went nuts over it. I think all up, that video is close to like 600,000 or 700,000 views or something. It's done really well. So that video itself has actually paid for another bike, to be honest. That's how well it's done. I won't tell you the exact numbers, but because I don't know them, but it's actually done really well. Oh, see that van there? I'm looking at one of those today. I might have a van for the channel, which means I can go and pick up bikes, go to track more easily, blah blah blah, cruise around in a van like a hitchhiker killer or something. Okay, I can go either way. I can go left or right. Oh my god, that clutch, I got used to it. Oh yeah, I love this bike. So yeah, so I built that bike and then I sold it to one of my best mates, who now has it as his track bike, and he's personalised it a fair bit. So that's that bike. Then I had another one, a white V4. Then I did that was awesome. And I actually ran into the guy that owns that bike now. I ran into him in Sydney down at a track meet, and he is fast. He is a fast rider. He's like hanging the arse out into a 200k an hour corner. He's that guy's got some skill compared to me. And then I did another RSV4 factory, the green one, which I liked it, but no one liked the green. Everyone called it the German army tank. Again, that bike looks absolutely awesome, top of the line gear. Then I've done, I think 3 BMW S1000 RRs, another 2 Panigales, so a 959 and another V2, which was, my favourite one of all time, was the one I recently just did and sold last week. So yeah, I've done quite a lot of builds, and it's to the point now where I'm like, do I keep going or do I stop? Because my channel hasn't exploded like I thought it would. I mean, like I hoped it would. I really want it to be over 100,000 by now at the two-year mark, but I'm at 25,000. I think I looked at the stats on YouTube, and the average channel growth, you're gonna laugh, the average channel growth is 0.003% per annum. That's the average channel growth. My channel growth is 3.49%. That's 1,000 times more growth than the average YouTube channel, and I still don't feel like it's really, taking off. It makes okay money. I'll do another episode at some point on how the money side of the monetization side of YouTube works out for motorcycle riders and stuff. I think compared to a lot of other motorcycle channels, I actually still get quite a lot of views per capita. So yeah, I shouldn't really complain. I get to go out and do this sort of stuff, which is awesome. This is not my job. I have a full-time job, so it's just when I get a spare moment and I'm not working, after hours and weekends, I do this. But it takes up a lot of time, so I'm going through a point at the moment where I'm like, I don't really need to do YouTube, but I do love it. I love the editing side more than anything, I think. I think what I hate is having to move my camera a million times to get 100 different B-roll shots or something. I'm thinking maybe I can try and switch my content a little bit so it's more fluent and less editing. I don't know. Maybe I do more rides. Maybe I do just less videos but longer videos. Might be better. Give me more time back in my social life. More time to actually ride bikes. I think, as my wife said, she'd prefer if I was out riding rather than filming, because filming just takes so much time. But that's it. That's how I got started. It was really just my wife saying, you know what, if you're going to build another bike, you really should film it, word for word. She goes, I can't believe you didn't film that first cafe racer that you built, because it would have made such good content. And I should have, but lesson learned. Anyway, so that's why I film, that's why I do it, that's why I do what I do. I love what I do. I love Superbikes, I love the scene. Most of the people I hang out with are pretty cool, they're pretty reasonable, they're not dickheads, but you do get a few of those in the industry as well. But generally everyone is quite positive. Everyone's quite forgiving of my mistakes as well. So, I do make mistakes, and I'm very transparent about that. Every time someone buys a bike off me, I just say to them, look, I'm not a mechanic. Watch the full build video. You'll see where I've done things wrong. You'll see where I've rectified them. You'll see what's still maybe potentially slightly wrong with the bike. You'll see what's awesome with the bike. You can't get more transparent than that. And I think that's what sets me apart. Is I'm willing to admit my mistakes, and I'm happy to admit my mistakes and learn from them. Lucky I've got a really good crew around me. I've got Brett from Motor Garage, who's the first one to point out when I lose a bolt off a bike or don't tighten something up correctly, which just makes me a better bike builder in the end. I've got Matt from Clean Ride, who's just a wealth of knowledge on Ducatis and super helpful in all respects of bike building. And then I've got my sponsors, YSS and Suspensions R Us, Van Diemen Australia. Van Diemen are awesome. They build some pretty cool exhausts. Maxi Carbon in Italy. Those guys are awesome, and all the other suppliers that get on board, Cube Moto down on the Gold Coast, who run the ASBK Superbike team. So yeah, really good group of people around me. But that's it. That's why I do it. That's why I do what I do. Enough rambling from me. I'm going to shoot home, grab a coffee, and start my day job. It's 8 AM in the morning, and I'm going to start a new week. Peace out. We'll see you then.